I don't know if I've been a big believer in ghosts and paranormal stuff. I mean, a lot of times the human mind does play tricks on you. But there was something that happened to me that I still can't fully explain. But it had a profound effect on me. My mom and dad separated when I was about 2 years old, so it was my mom and I for many, many years. As a kid, growing up in the Bronx with my mom, it was a little tough. It was the early 70s. It was a struggle at times for her, especially because she worked many jobs. She tried to do what she could to support me, and I was tough. You know, I was a tough little kid. I can remember sometimes having a tantrum. That was quite the handful. Very willful. I feel for her now that I'm a parent. I wouldn't wish myself on anybody else. When I was very young, I remember this apartment we had in a tenement building, and I finally got my own room. My mom was trying to, teach me to sleep on my own. One night, I remember lying down. And there was something outside of the window. Something watching. I was terrified. And I'd scream like a real, blood-curdling scream. My mom comes into the room, and I point out the window, and she'd look. There's nothing there.
There's nothing out there. Go back to sleep. There's nothing out there. Go back to sleep.
When she was very, you gotta be a big boy. No, she thought I was just wanting to sleep next to her as opposed to in my own little room. After that, I couldn't sleep. I just was terrified. The next night, I remember just falling asleep. All of a sudden, I wake up. Again, I see something staring into the window. And it looked like what I thought was a head. It was quite horrifying. And I thought, what did it want with me? And I scream. And my mom comes in, and I couldn't communicate at that point.
There's nothing out there. Listen, there's nothing there.
My mom had just about had it.
I have to wake up in 2 hours. Somebody else died there. There's nothing out there. Okay, we've talked about this. Just go back to sleep. I have to be awake in 2 hours. Esai, I've had enough.
She'd had no sleep the night before, working, and she snapped. She took a belt, and she said, "Enough! Stop it!"
Stop it! Just go back to sleep. I have to be awake in 2 hours. Esai, I've had enough.
She'd had no sleep the night before, working, and she snapped. She took a belt, and she said, "Enough! Stop it!"
Stop it!
When she pulled back like this, she was held back. She couldn't move. It was like she was being jolted by electricity or something. And she tried to see what this was, but There was nothing there. She couldn't scream, she couldn't say anything, and I was just paralyzed myself. And at that point, I felt like the world was falling out from under my feet. Slowly, there was a shift. A shift in her attitude. It's kind of like a fog lifting. And my mother was crying. And she holds me. And I remember, and she shared some pretty interesting things with me about her life and her childhood. She grew up one of 12 children. And my grandfather, they had an aunt or an uncle, a childless couple. And they desperately wanted to have a child. And she said, my grandfather felt so bad for this family. And so at one point, my grandparents chose my mother and said, well, how about her? Take her. She'd make a fine. She's a wonderful little girl. And she told me that she went and wouldn't eat, wouldn't stop crying for days. Till they had to bring her back because she just would not accept this. I remember her tearfully telling me, why me? Of all the children, of all the kids, why me? What did I do? I think my grandfather regretted that. I don't think they knew at the time the consequences of that action. And it traumatized my mother in such a way that I think she carries that trauma with her to this day. And that haunts me. It's so weird. You get emotional, Tend to look back and wonder if that was my grandfather who I never met trying to see me. It was his spirit that protected me.
Stop it! What are you doing?
My mother could have lost control. If she would have hurt me, she would never have been able to forgive herself or live with herself. I think he was trying to save her from the regret that he went through. My mom was very different after that. Always affectionate with me. My grandfather was truly watching out for us. That's what it's all about. And taking care of each other. Stopping each other from doing things that may be permanent in their consequences.